For the first time in school history, William Penn is sending both its men's and women's bowling teams to the USBC Intercollegiate Team Championships, which begin later this week in Lincoln, Nebraska. Mark Van Wyk is the head coach for both Statesman bowling teams. He led the men to nationals last year as well, but he says there's so much turnover this year that they can't just rely on last year's experience.
We have so many new guys on our varsity roster this year that, I don't know so much that the experience for them necessarily. They've just been really solid all year long, and these guys have, a couple guys have international experience, and another freshman just playing good bowler, a big power player. So they've been in, other tournament pressure situations where it doesn't really seem to affect them this year. So, I think they'll be fine.
It's the third appearance at Nationals for the Statesman men. They went in 2013 as well as last year. For the Lady Statesmen, it's their second appearance in Nationals. They went way back in 2012. Van Wyk says that for this year's squad, focusing on one key area really turned their season around.
They've just really, the second half of the season, we just focused on them with their spare game. Just really worked on spares in practice. And once that starts to pick up a little bit and you're not so worried when you're shooting your spare, it's amazing how much their arm swings relax, and then it's easier to throw those first shots. But, every tournament, second half of the season, they've gotten better, and they peaked at the right time. So.
By now, the bowlers from both teams are pretty anxious to get out there and compete. William Penn qualified for the Nationals way back on March 10th, and their last meet was the NAIA Invitational on March 23rd. Van Wyk says the long layoff is a bit of an issue, so he's worked on some ways to counteract it.
It is a little bit of a concern because at this point in the season, we've been practicing, weekly since September, so it's kind of getting, starting to drag a little bit in practices. We've tried to change some things up to, do some different drills and get some more pattern play in to try and get them revived on it a little bit. So I think by the time Wednesday rolls around and we hit our official practice session there, we'll be ready to go.
The format for the USBC Intercollegiate Championships is the same as the NAIA Invitational. The Statesman bowlers will have their official practice round on Wednesday. The Baker games take place Thursday morning, with match play beginning in the afternoon. Should either or both of the William Penn squads get to the finals, those would be on Saturday. For the Ottumwa Radio Sports Network, I'm Jason Van Arkel.